Alright everybody, this is Throwing Knife Killer, and today I'm coming at you with the specifically equipment part of my Airsoft Essential series involving equipment, sidearms, etc. So, anyhow, I just made a video on the overall essentials for Airsoft, which included my vest, mask, gloves, one primary I had in there, and one sidearm. So if you'd like to see a lot of in-depth talk about my vest, which I do in there, you can go click on that video right here, and you can come back to this video later, or you can just straight up watch through this video and then go back and click on it. So anyhow, why don't I start with the vest first? I won't go as in-depth though. So a vest is needed for obvious purposes such as mag pouches. It could be a sidearm holster. Not all vests carry those. My vest does. I like that feature. And utility pouches. You got CO2 in here that I hold, and Allen wrenches. I don't have them in there right now, but I have held them in there before. Points for slings and speed loaders down here. Mag pouches. You know, you can hook on a bayonet, or maybe a pistol holster, and this actually is a bayonet, guys, by the way, not just meant to be a side knife, like a tack knife, but it is a bayonet. It did come with that case though. So anyhow, I don't know each and every one's likings, whether they actually have a sidearm, they want to use a sidearm, so they might not want a sidearm holster, they might not want these pouches, they may just want lots and lots of pouches for their AEGs or whatever, you know, gas rifles. So those mag pouches, you might want to go with the chest rig that just has a lot of mag pouches. This vest actually has 4 mag pouches, but if that's not enough for you, you can always go with the chest rig. So yes, the vest is personal preference, whether, you know, which vest you want. If you want pistol holster, like I do like a pistol holster, that's pretty nice on a vest, and just being able to customize it with putting in like another sidearm holster and bayonet, blah 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 blah. And inside here there are pockets too if I want to store some BBs in there or whatever. So this right here is a very nice vest. It's from airsplat.com, and it's also available on evike.com. And so yeah, that's the vest portion of this. Like I said, you can go check out the more in-depth part of that if you're just looking for a vest. Now let's go to uniforms. So the uniform, I think, is a pretty essential part of an airsoft, you know, equipment. So, especially if you're actually not just playing backyard airsoft or, you know, something like that, but you're in an actual field, you're probably going to want Army equipment for that because, one, you can be like your team, have all the same, you know, distinct features in your equipment possibly, but also, you know, you can just look pretty dang cool, and it serves, you know, for being able to lie on the ground. It's not a t-shirt and shorts, I can say that, because if you get shot, you probably have more protection with this than a t-shirt and some shorts, and might not hurt as much. But also, you know, they've got pockets you can store stuff in, and I actually purchased these from a surplus store near me, somewhat near me actually, and they do have uniforms available on evike.com. They've got a lot of stuff available on evike.com. So uniforms, pretty dang essential, I think. If you're on an actual field, you're going to an actual field, like I said. Otherwise, you might not want one. But I just personally like wearing a uniform. It's nice, and you know, doesn't hurt as much, I guess, when you get shot. Same goes for the vest. You have a vest on, you get shot in the chest. Doesn't hurt as much, okay? So if you guys are like, hey, I am sick of my friend sniping me with this 500 FPS rifle and I'm playing backyard airsoft, you might want to get something like this. Anyhow, let's move on to some pads. So first off, for pads, we've got elbow pads, then we've got some knee pads. Now, I purchased these from evike.com. Who else did I purchase them from? But yeah, ACU camo, that's my favorite camo, as you can kind of tell by everything here with my, as far as my, not my vest, I guess, because that's just black before I even started getting into ACU camo, I guess, before I had equipment. So anyhow, ACU camo for these pads right here, so they can match your uniform if you're looking to get some sort of pad, I guess. They have on evike.com, different colors, so if you're looking, you say, hey, I've got woodland, and they've got woodland pads, it's great. But I personally don't use my pads. I've used them like a couple times or once or something like that, and just right now I don't use my pads. I've got a uniform, and I don't really need pads. But if you're a guy who's like laying down on the ground, or a girl that's laying down on the ground with your sniper rifle, or you're crouching a lot, you've got your knee on the ground with your AEG, supporting your team using suppression fire, then you might want some pads on. I don't know. Then we've got the helmets over here. The helmet, you don't need to have one, but it's pretty cool to have because, one, you can get a cover that matches your ensemble, and two, more realism, and it also offers some protection if you're getting shot in the head a lot, and you're like, I really wish I had a helmet. You can get a helmet. And they have a helmet. I got the helmet off of evike.com. It's pretty dang cheap. And then they've got helmet covers there, so it's pretty great too. Now, this one over here, you're like, hey, that's not ACU camo. That's because I actually won that in this thing from Evike through Facebook. And yeah, it's not ACU, but I can't help that. That is like a radio pouch, though, by the way. Moving on to very, very essential part, which I would say could be the most essential part in this, having goggles or a mask, because you do not want to play Airsoft without a mask or goggles. I have actually seen pictures of someone who's gotten their teeth shot out because they didn't have a mask and they had their mouth like open or something, and their teeth got shot and like chipped pretty badly, I think. And then also someone at school was playing without any goggles and they got their eye shot and they had a second pupil. So if that sounds like fun, it's not. It hurts, guys. I can tell you that, even though it hasn't happened to me. I know that did not feel good, okay? And you always want to have eye protection when you're playing Airsoft. Okay, now for me, I prefer to have a full mask. It protects your face part way, and like your teeth too. And this mask in particular has lights, and it also has a fan. You may be able to hear that. So if you have goggles that are fogging up a lot, you might want to check out getting one like this. I actually purchased this from airsplat.com, and I don't know that it's available on Evike. I don't think it is, but it was, well, I didn't purchase it from Airsplat. It was through Sears, and it was a gift, actually. So through Sears, but it was from Airsplat. $24.99 for this mask. $29.99 for the vest from Airsplat. But yeah. Gloves, now. You might want gloves when you're playing Airsoft. I know I like to have gloves on. One, if you get shot in the hand, it's probably not going to hurt as much as bare skin. And another thing, if you're moving through woodland and you have branches in your face, you can just pull those out and protects your hands a bit more from those branches and whatever you're moving. So gloves are pretty nice. Now over here I've got this thing that goes over my face and covers my neck a bit in my head. And I don't know exactly what it is called. I apologize for that. But it is just part of my equipment, and you don't really need one necessarily, but if you want one, they're available on evike.com. So this has been the equipment series of of Essential series, sorry. This has been the specifically equipment part. So I thank you guys for watching this. If you were interested in knowing my equipment, or looking into getting equipment, you go to Airsplat, you can go to Evike, and yeah. So I thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe.